Yo, what's going on, people? Rosinia has addressed the media, speaking to the French media and confirming he's coming to Chelsea Football Club. He will be the new Chelsea manager. We're going to speak about it in today's video. The content here on Football Therapy will be speaking broadly about how he's going to manage Chelsea, how he's going to set up. Is he going to play a back three? That's some content that we will be making here on the channel, so do keep it locked. But I want to speak about his comments, his reasoning for leaving Strasbourg and coming to Chelsea. We can talk about it a little bit more or broadly as well, not briefly. We'll go into detail, actually, but do keep it locked. I'm delighted to have you here back on Football Therapy, so welcome back. It's great to have you here. Thank you, as always, for supporting the content. You can do that simply by just dropping a like on this video on YouTube, subscribing if you're new, or indeed just subscribing if you're yet to do so and you are a returning visitor. And of course, this is available on podcast platforms. Simply search Football Therapy Podcast. And hey, if you've got Spotify, you get to watch the video. And again, an opportunity to help me out and give me a 5-star rating after you follow, of course. So it's going to be really interesting seeing what Liam said. I can't wait to delve into it. And we're going to learn a little bit more about the new Chelsea manager and what to expect, I think, from his comments. And we can go a little bit deeper. But before we do, just take a quick second and check this out. A humongous thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. My good friends and long-term partner, not like that, Surfshark are the best VPN service, that's right, virtual private network service around. Everybody needs a VPN in this day and age, and Surfshark is the best because they have so many different countries, so many different server locations, and it's really, really easy to use. By utilizing a VPN, you're doing a whole host of things. Firstly, your data security goes up massively. You're safe from all the horrible, nasty internet pirates out there. Your personal information is safe. You can browse in privacy, which is something we all need this day and age. Privacy. And the great thing is, it's not just offering you security, it's also opening up different libraries of media entertainment and all kinds of streaming sites. You just utilize Surfshark, move to a desired location. After a click of a button, that whole media library is now open for your eyes and ears. Superb! Easy to use, loads of different servers, offers you security, and opens up new media for you to enjoy. And fortunately for you guys, because you're a viewer of my channel, if you use my code FOOTBALL on surfshark.com, you get an additional 4 months free. That's right, go to surfshark.com/football, or indeed just use my code FOOTBALL on Surfshark when you check out, and you will enjoy an additional 4 months. Amazing deal, go check it out. Alternatively, click the link on the top of the description. Go check out Surfshark now. Superb scenes! Do go check out Surfshark. I'm very grateful for their continued partnership, and I do actually genuinely use it every day. Let's get into it! Right, so I'm going to be reading these quotes courtesy of @AbsoluteChelsea on X, formerly known as Twitter, and can be found at twitter.com. So yes, look, Callum McFarlane is scheduled to take training today for the game against Fulham on Wednesday. We don't know if, I think he's probably going to manage the game if he's taking training. It would be crazy for like Rosenior to not take training and then manage the game. So what we can expect, Callum, or as I like to call him, Shane, which is very funny still. I called him Shane all throughout our video. I still have no idea why I did that. But the meme is continued on my Instagram, @FootballYannick. Anyway, he will take the game. Of course, Rosinia will probably be present. Fulham is his former club as well. But he's spoken to the French media, Liam Rosenior, and we've learned a little bit more. He's basically faced up to it. He's not just snuck out the back door, yeah? He said this: I was given permission to speak. By the way, he was given permission by who? The owners of his current club. Who are the owners of his other club? Of course he was given permission, yeah? I was given permission to speak to one of the biggest clubs in the world. It was an honor to be associated with a club like that. Pump the brakes, mate. You are already associated with a club like that. You've managed Strasbourg. And now it looks like I will be the next manager of that football club. He's saying Chelsea called, and I said, Yes, please. Which you can't blame him. You can't blame him. I, like many, think this job may have come a little bit too soon for him. I'm hoping, despite it maybe being too soon, that won't stop him from performing well as a Chelsea manager. You know, getting the team believing in him, and then hopefully delivering wins and trophies to Chelsea, because ultimately that's what Chelsea is all about, winning trophies. But, yeah, like a bit like Frank, how Frank couldn't say no the first time. You just don't know when you're going to get the chance. Like, even Ruben Amorim, Maresca, all these coaches that aren't Mourinho, Conte, Tuchel. When these clubs come calling, you got to say yes. You simply have to say yes. He said, it's an unbelievable opportunity and an unbelievable club. Correct. Mental, though. Get ready. You know, he looks pretty young for 41. He's about to age about a decade in 6 months. You know, it's, yeah. Also, yes, he's a Man United fan. I don't know why it's circulating. Like, everyone who's my age, a little bit younger than me, and a little bit older than me, up to his age, is a Man United fan, if you're from the south of England. Get over it, yeah? Unless you're Chelsea, like me. But that's because of my old man, not because I had a choice. Yes, it's an unbelievable opportunity, an unbelievable club, who are Club World Cup champions. True. Delivered by Maresca, though, and that very much belongs to us as a club, but Maresca, despite the fallout and people differing on their opinions on Enzo Maresca, he masterminded that final. That is, you know, very much he was integral to that achievement. Club World Cup champions, indeed. Incredible squad. Yeah, missing a couple of key items, but good, you know, players in there. An incredible fan base. He knows exactly what he's doing here, Liam, doesn't he? He's getting in early. Chelsea have gone and he's sitting in front of the French media as Strasbourg manager, talking about how incredible the Chelsea fan base is. 4D chess, very early doors, which I must say is probably the right thing to do. It means I can go home and see my kids. I've missed them. There you go, and a touch of human emotion. Look, I'm not saying for a moment he's saying that for, you know, cynical reasons. He probably does miss his children, and he gets to go home, but that is a lovely ace to have up your sleeve, isn't it? From a lot of angry, because French media were dissecting it and taking him apart. Understandably, 100%. Even though French journalists and broadcasters, and maybe dare I say even some Strasbourg fans, understand that he cannot say no to this opportunity. Yeah, but as soon as he says I can go home and be around my kids, it's like, why'd you go and pull, like, you know, the Uno reverse card that we can't get angry about? Courtois tried to play that when he went back to Real Madrid, but we all know he's a knob. Anyway, let's move on. So he says there's many reasons for leaving Strasbourg, but that's not a good thing to say. I don't think anyone can question how hard I've worked for the club and the decision I've made to move on. Yeah, it's just basically like, you know, I can't say no to Chelsea, guys. Let's be honest. And if everyone sort of really deeped it, as the kids like to say, they'd be like, yeah, I get it. Off you go. Maybe not off you go. They're going to be angry, but it's not like he's going to a direct French rival. He's going to PSG. He's going over to Chelsea. I think if Strasbourg wasn't owned by Chelsea, there'd be like no issues. They'd probably be a bit more like, why are you hiring this guy? Like, we think he's good, but what? But I think because it's that additional narrative of feeding Chelsea, obviously that causes the problem. But if it was like, you know, if it was just Strasbourg and they just looked for a young manager and they thought the guy at Strasbourg's good, they'd be like, oh, Chelsea's come calling, that's a bit weird. We get it, off you go. But I think there's so much frustration with this, despite Chelsea funding Strasbourg massively and, you know, in theory making them better, when you know it's like an existential, well, I'm not going to go over this whole ground, but it's an existential crisis for the club itself, certainly the fans, well, the club's owned by Chelsea now, but for the fan base, it's an existential crisis, you know. He goes on to say, look, the timing isn't perfect. I travelled yesterday with Mark Keller, who I believe is the sporting director, and David Weir, not just for conversations with a massive club, but also to help this club move forward and be successful. I know people will say it's bad timing. Yeah. I mean, they're top of the Conference League table, and they're 7th, which is about right in Ligue 1 for them, I guess. I mean, I've said on like a few occasions now, he will say how much they've missed Andre Santos in the midfield, and maybe, Omega's injury, despite the Argentine Panicelli guy being really good, they probably had a few key misses. But the timing isn't ideal. He probably would have liked to stay there for another year or two, or another 18 months, and then succeeded Maresca. I think that's what everyone was planning. I do genuinely think Chelsea were lining up Rosinia as a Chelsea coach. For all the people that don't know about him, he's not just some PE teacher that looks like Matisse. By the way, Matisse's content for this tenure is going to pop off. He's a really methodical, emotionally intelligent, deep-thinking man that's got really good emotional intelligence and will bond with the players well. Is he a master tactician? Will he mastermind Chelsea to trophies? The jury is, of course, out. We'll see what happens. He goes on to say, I haven't signed yet. I have verbally agreed with Chelsea. So he's saying, this is, there's a headline. Rosenior's confirmed he's agreed with Chelsea to manage him. He's confirmed. He's confirmed it. Everything has been agreed and will probably go through the next few hours. I want to make this clear. It's why I'm here for this press conference. I care about this club. To be fair to him, genuinely, he hasn't ran away through the back door. He's come back and spoken with his chest, and they probably will respect that. He could have just done a little social media post like, sorry, bye. Do you know what I mean? But no, he flew back, sat in the press conference and said, right, Chelsea have come for me. I've got to go. I want to manage this club. It's a huge club. I want to be close to my children. I'm going back home. I've been good for you guys, Strasbourg. Freaking you got to firm it. Do you know what I mean? We all move on. We all move on. Do you know what I mean? So that's what he says. I'm here for this press conference as I care about this club, Strasbourg. He's returned to be like, I'll come back to you now at the turn of the tide. Although Gandalf did stay and fight. Anyway, Liam Rosinia. Mixed emotions, he says. So excited about the future. I cannot lie. I can't lie. Of course you got to be excited. You're going to manage Cole Palmer and Estevao. And your favourite and best boy, Andre Santos. That's fun. Be excited. Bun the haters, fam, as the kids would say. To be presented with this opportunity and to manage a world-class football club is something I've always dreamed of. By the way, true. His dad, who works in football, says the same thing. People who've coached around Rosinia will say he's always had ambitions to coach the very top. He's 41. My guy is young, and he's managing Chelsea. Granted, because we're a bit of a circus and we just hire children, whether you're a manager or a 13-year-old Peruvian defender, you're in. Because apparently that's the way. I've always dreamed of it's with mixed emotions and sadness. I am emotional, which, that's what I read. This is my last day, the last time I wake up as Strasbourg manager. I hope that in time, everyone will look back and say that I was an amazing part in Strasbourg's history. Man, big words. I mean, you're getting back in Europe. They're top of the Conference League. If they go on and win it, they have to... it's a big if now, especially they've lost Rosinia. But Chelsea, who knows? Maybe we give them another player in January. Yeah? Maybe Ben Chilwell comes back. Chilwell and Jackson back. I mean, is Raheem Sterling going to pop? No, he's not. We're definitely trying to get his wages off the books. But, yeah, if they win, they have to be like Liam was important here. Maybe, nothing heals like time, Liam Rosinia, I've already spoken to a couple of players. Yeah, defo. Once it's official, I'll make sure I speak to every person, players and stuff. I thought he was talking about Chelsea players. He's clearly talking about Strasbourg, of which he has a close relationship with. To thank them for what they've given me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in this unbelievable situation now. He is good, isn't he? Maresca's incredibly intelligent. I like how Maresca speaks multiple languages. I think it's very impressive when you're multilingual, and Maresca is. Italian, Spanish, English, French, he speaks pretty darn well. I don't think Liam Rosenior speaks very limited French and obviously English, but he is a great communicator, and in his native tongue, English, he will get the players going. I mean, it's always helpful if you can speak Spanish, especially in like a Galactico dressing room like Chelsea. But yeah. So he's clever here. He's thanking. You know, he's saying that I owe them. Yeah, but also they owe me. Am I ready? I will speak about that when it's the right time. I'm here to speak about Strasbourg, not the next. I mean, you've been speaking a lot about Chelsea, mate, but yeah, not the next stage yet. I will do. It may not look like it. I am so excited. I didn't think. Oh, sorry. If I didn't think I was ready, I would not have accepted the Chelsea job. The reality in football. There are levels of clubs. Ugh, sorry, Strasbourg fans. That is a kick in the gonads. I mean, he is with his chest, bro. The reality is Strasbourg is not the level of Chelsea. True, but do you need to say it, brother? Everyone thinks their club is the biggest club in the world. I mean, I kind of like it. I think he's pretty calculated. This is tactical public speaking. It will grow and achieve in the future, Strasbourg, but there are certain levels of club you cannot turn down, and that is the mighty Chelsea. I'm getting on a plane after this press conference, and I will have discussions with the club. Hopefully everything then, the paperwork will be signed, and I can meet my new squad, which I'm really looking forward to. See you later, Strasbourg fan. I'm really looking forward to meeting this lot. You guys are cool, but these guys, I'm buzzing to meet these guys. Oh dear. I think it's the opposite. Taking a coach from Strasbourg shows a lack of respect. He's saying, I think it's the opposite. It shows huge respect, not only for the work I've done, but the work the club has done. Chelsea are one of the biggest clubs in the world. So yeah, it's not saying we're disrespecting Strasbourg by stealing the manager. It's showing you how good you are and how good we're making you and how relevant you are. That's me speaking there. They can pick any coach in the world they want outside of PSG in France. If Chelsea wants a coach, they could probably want to take the job. It shows how far Strasbourg have come in a short space of time. There you go. Pretty much what I just said. When I was notified of the interest of Chelsea, it was a very nice surprise. You knew you were in the chamber for this one. And when Maresca was on the wobble, you thought, that's my assumption anyway. It's not where you finish in the league, it's how your team plays. Wait, what? Hold on, I've said before, it's not where you finish in the league. Hold on, stop. We're pumping the brakes again, Liam. Hold on. You've said it's not where you finish in the league, it's how your team plays. No. This isn't the West Ham way. We're not Arsenal. We are Chelsea. We don't care how we play. We care just about winning. As Frank Lampard often said, Chelsea's identity, we never had tiki-taka. Roman Abramovich wanted it. He never got it. And in the end, he learned Chelsea's footballing identity was winning. So I don't like that. First cross on the list. He says, I've had interest from UCL clubs I've turned down because I wanted to be here. I do genuinely believe that. We shouldn't get lost here how Rosinia is really highly rated in the club. Yes, and then he goes on to talk about the opportunity. He says if it wasn't Chelsea, if it was a different club of the same standard, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, would this move be seen as disrespectful? Less or more? It's the business of football. Yeah, it's kind of what I said. It's because it's Chelsea, because of the links, that people are upset. Clubs would headhunt people for who they want and who they think will help them win. And he said, célèbre, and the press conference was concluded. Ooh, la 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 la. Heavy stuff. I quite like it. He came out swinging, but gently. He punched you in the face with a little caress at the end. Yeah? He kicked you in the nuts, but kissed your forehead. I've lost my mind, man. This club's like literally, I don't know anymore. You know, I really like Liam Rosinia. I have for a little while, as I've sort of kept an eye on him in the last week or so. where naturally, due to my job, I've been doing a little bit more detailed research on him. As a character, I really like him, and yet I'm really rooting for him, genuinely. I hope he does it, and by saying does it, last 2+ years at Chelsea and wins a trophy, and gives the fans moments, wins, develops players, yeah. We see goals, we see Santos dunking, we see Palmer smiling again, because that's a big story in this. Palmer, clearly, I'm going to allegedly go off this is just me thinking this. I don't think Palmer liked Maresca that much. I know he, had his best moment in the Chelsea shirt, that Club World Cup final under Maresca, and that was Maresca's tactical acumen, absolutely. But I think maybe, getting, Palmer back on side and smiling again, I think Rosinia might be able to do that. I'm rooting for him. I really want it to work, man. I really, really, really want it to work. And I really like what he said. What do you think? Make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comments here on YouTube. How you feel about Rosenior's comments. I'll be very keen to learn your thoughts. Thank you as always for liking and subscribing and supporting the content and, checking me out, Football Therapy Podcast on YouTube. I do really urge you guys to check out Surfshark. Use my code FOOTBALL because it's great. And everyone needs a VPN, and I think Surfshark's the best. So click the link in the top of the description, and I will see you later. Peace.